Paint, fail, paint, fail, paint. This is a story of a painting that just didn't go well, and it's still a struggle. This painting called Corina is one of 9 acrylic paintings that I did as a set, and most of the paintings turned out all right. This one, I just don't know why I can't get it right. Perhaps because I had to change the shadows. There were some weird shadows falling over her nose, and so I had to kind of make up how the shadows would fall against her nose if she was in full sunlight. But her eyes were in direct sun, so her pupils were very narrow, and that added to kind of the eeriness of how she looked when I was thinking that I was done with the painting the first time. And then I went a little crazy with the colors, which is part of my style, and then I dialed it back. And then I thought, well, it's not crazy enough, so I need to go put in wild colors again. But let's try a new color scheme, one that I haven't worked with before, which is fine. You know, it's all an experiment, but sometimes experiments fail. Okay, I'm going to let you watch for a little bit, and I'll pop back on from time to time. Here comes the second application of wild and crazy colors. In 3, 2, 1. It starts out nicely enough. I've got an analogous color scheme here of some various shades of blue and blue-greens. I like it. But, well, you'll see. Okay, so here, I was trying to add some color variations to the white parts of the fur, so I went much lighter with the blue, and this ain't it. What I mean is I should have gone a lot paler here. I had the idea of creating colors that look like an iridescent, pearly white, and the blue is just too dark. Now I'm adding some additional details around the eyes. You're going to see me struggle with these eyes over and over. Now here, I'm trying to add some depth to the eyes by showing the shadow of the eyelids, but it doesn't really agree with the fact that the light is coming directly into the cat's eyes. So that's part of the problem with why the eyes ended up looking incorrect. So I tried to make up for it by increasing the size of the pupils, which indicates that there's less light coming directly into the eyes. Eye struggles again. This yellow was really inadvisable. Again, I was trying to create an iridescent, pearly sort of veneer on the cat's white fur, and my colors are just far too saturated. This turquoise is about the right value, that is, the amount of darkness, but it ended up making the cat's head look a little bit too short, like her jaw was too small. Maybe adding highlights to her eyes will make them look less wonky? No, look wonkier than ever. But hey, that whisker looks great. At this point, trying to fix the eye wasn't really resolving the main issue, which is that it was placed incorrectly and the lighting doesn't work very well. So this is a good example of trying to continue to add details when the foundations are all wrong. So here's my first time trying to start over on that left-hand eye. But I really should have just pulled out a ruler to see if it's properly aligned with the eye on the right. Spoiler alert, it's not. I tried valiantly to get it fixed, and it just wasn't going to work. Not in that place. Hey, look at that, a ruler. Great idea. So first I drew a line that I felt was straight up and down from the top center of the cat's head and down to the center of her nose. And then I made sure that the lines going across were perpendicular to that. Here you see me lining up the left-hand eye with the right-hand eye. The other thing that I endeavored to do was to tone down all of those bright colors. Back, all you garish colors. I also revived her beautiful black fur. Time to repaint her eyes again. While that green was drying, I worked on refining the white areas, the brightest highlights. Back to her eyes. This time I'm trying to pay very close attention to the photo reference. Her nose needed some further work as well. Nice narrow pupils for the bright sunlight again. I continued to struggle with the shape of that eye on the left-hand side again. I do love painting those beautiful little whiskers. I wanted that ruff to pop out again, but I feel like I went far too dark on this shadow. In the end, my 12-year-old son said she still looked wonky. I took that to heart. I'm going to have yet another go at this painting, and one thing I'm going to try is to simplify the forms and avoid the fussiness of the fur. Even if this painting never works out, I still learned a lot from the process.